There it is. Wow.
There it is.
You seeing this? Are you seeing this shit?
Son of a bitch.
Bro, look at this. You seeing this shit? You believe this shit?
I believe it.
Are you seeing it?
I'm seeing it.
Where are you seeing it? On your phone? You watching your phone?
Everything. I'm watching everything. I watch everything.
You're like the guy in the fucking computer room. The guy watching the world work.
I'm Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, you're like, look, that's what we're doing. We're looking through these windows of this car and we're watching the earth go as we please.
I'm becoming Lawnmower Man.
You know what's funny about Lawnmower Man?
What's funny about Lawnmower Man?
He was kind of like half retarded or something.
Oh, he was full on dope.
And he wore like
crazy dumb.
He wore like overalls.
Yeah.
And he did the lawn.
Yeah.
For people.
And then he got into everything.
Yeah, how the hell that motherfucker? What happened? He like listened to a CD or something? What happened to him? He got the Einstein tapes? Baby Einstein? Is that what the fuck happened? They baby Einstein that motherfucker a little later than usual? And
I don't think Baby Einstein was around when that movie came out.
What the fuck happened? I don't understand how the fuck that guy got smart. He was a full-on dope.
I guess you better go back and watch the movie because that's the whole premise.
Dude, I think I saw that movie in the theater and I don't even remember that shit.
Don't tell me your memory's getting worse than mine.
No, my memory's fucking sharp as a tack. I could go all the way back and I could remember everything. I just don't remember what was the premise of how all of a sudden he got smart. Something must have came down like the hand of God.
No. Well, shit. I don't remember the details.
See, you don't remember neither.
Of course, but I never claimed I would.
Neither did I. But I'm saying I don't remember.
I remembered the name of the movie.
He fucking like did the lawn, and I think Remington Steele was in that movie with him. So like they were buddies and shit. And
what was that guy's name?
They were probably going to get laid and shit on the side. You know, he's like, "Hey, you dope, you ever get laid? Hey, check this out. Let's go to the whorehouse. I'm Remington Steele." It was like a hell of a movie. You know, it was like before he was James Bond, right? Remington Steele.
Right. What the hell's his name? His last name starts with a B. It's like, it's not Brennan.
Bollingsworth.
No,
that wasn't it. Sounds like it should be it.
Yeah, that should be your last
And his
name.
last name was with the B, and it wasn't Bollingsworth. The fuck was his name? Pierce Brosnan? That guy?
Pierce Brosnan.
The fucking 007 from GoldenEye? The GoldenEye guy? That motherfucker?
Bronson.
Charles Bronson. When Charles Bronson was 007. Remember that?
Pierce Brosnan.
Brosnan. Yeah, I remember that guy. He was like skinny and got laid a lot.
That movie was about virtual reality.
Right. Well, we live in a virtual reality. Come on. Everything's virtual. Culture's virtual reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. But that was before the singularity was on our doorstep.
Yeah, it has nothing to do. Dude, we had virtual reality 3,000 years ago. It's called culture. But what I'm saying is that guy didn't have goggles on. He didn't have those VR goggles.
He ended up getting all over the world in all the electronics because it started out as this virtual reality experiment.
That's what it was. It was some science shit from the government or something that was on the down low that fucking Bronson was involved in, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't Sean Connery in that movie, or am I imagining things?
No.
He should have been.
Shit on that one.
Maybe I watched Highlander right before. Maybe that's what it was.
So we can listen to his accent.
That shit came out at the same time, like fucking Highlander and fucking Lawnmower Man. Like 2 hits.
Or Hunt for Red October. When did that come out?
Oh, I don't know. But was Pierce Brosnan in that too?
One ping only.
Hunt for Red October. It was some guy that was like Pierce Brosnan that was in that movie with him. Do you remember who it was?
Send a reply.
Oh, you know who it was? It was fucking Alec Baldwin, I think. I think Alec Baldwin was in Hunt for Red fucking October with the submarines.
It wasn't Alec. It was a Baldwin brother. It wasn't Alec, though. It was
I bet you it was. I bet you it was Alec Baldwin.
Not Alec. It was not.
Who was it then?
It was one of the other Baldwin brothers.
It wasn't. Watch. You think it was William Baldwin? You think it's William Baldwin?
No, you're gonna make me look this one up.
I guarantee you it was fucking Alec Baldwin. Because look, go through the Baldwin brothers. How many are there? Do you know?
I don't know.
There's
100?
like 4 acting Baldwin brothers. There's Alec, there's Daniel, there's William, there's Steven. So it was one of those 4. It was Alec. I guarantee fucking to you it was Alec Baldwin.
It was Alec Baldwin, huh?
Yep. Go ahead. Hey, Jamie, pull that up, Jamie. Let's get Jamie to pull that up. Was it fucking? I put $1,000.
That had James Earl Jones in it,
dude. $1,000. Alec fucking Baldwin was in Hunt for Red motherfucking October.
Sean Connery,
with Sean fucking Connery.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin is Jack Ryan.
You see what the fuck I told you? Because it wasn't going to be those other three assholes.
You know why I thought it was a different one? It's because he was so young.
That's what I'm saying. People don't remember him from when he was like skinny and he was nobody. Yeah. He was nobody, and he had those nerd glasses in that movie, like he worked for the fucking CIA or some shit.
Yep, I stand corrected. You're absolutely right.
Because then what happens
but he's just deceptively young in that movie.
Well, yeah, because he was a baby. Like now he's what? Deceptively idiotic, right? He's deceptively fat, old, swollen, and going to prison. You know what I'm saying? Deceptively.
3 men and a baby.
Right. The 3 amigos.
3 amigos and a baby.
Fucking whatever.
Fuck. So yeah, Lawnmower Man was actually kind of cool.
It was.
To me.
You know?
I thought it was a good movie. But
that guy Jeff Fahey that played Lawnmower Man, he was like a up-and-coming rising star. He was in this other funny movie that was really good.
That's right.
It was called Body Parts. Really good movie. You ever seen that?
Oh, I think I might have seen that. I don't remember.
It was like a thriller, like a creepy thriller.
Yeah.
Because Lawnmower Man was like a creepy thriller with sci-fi, right? So it was like a sci-fi creepy thriller, but it was kind of drama also. But this fucking movie, Body Parts, was like fully entrenched in creepy thriller because in the beginning, you remember that movie, Body Parts? Why the fuck it was called Body Parts?
I like I said, I just remember the title. I think I might have seen it, but when did that even come out?
Like right after, like the fucking next year, right after Lawnmower motherfucking Man, he got Body Parts. So he was like on the fucking highway in fucking LA traffic or some shit. And in the beginning, and he's just like sitting there, and I think he's calling his wife and saying, "I'll be home soon, darling, honey bunches, but I'm stuck in traffic." And then he looks in the rearview mirror, and a fucking 18-wheeler's coming really fast. Then bam, the beginning of the movie, and then it turns out he fucking lost like an arm.
Yeah.
A whole arm. He lost a whole arm and he became like half a man. And then they were like, well, you know what we could do? We can give you a new arm. But here's the catch. It's from this guy that we put to death in prison that's a murderer. But we ain't telling you that. We ain't going to tell you that part where he's a murderer. He's just a cadaver. We're giving you a cadaver arm, and that's going to be your new... And it fucking worked great until he realized the arm wanted to try to kill people.
Yeah.
And then something happened after that where there were more, like the arm wanted to go find the rest of the body parts and put them all together.
Yeah.
What a cool movie.
I vaguely remember all this. Yeah, I vaguely remember all of this.
And of course, Lawnmower Man, perfect guy, you know?
Fucking guy, yeah.
And then after that, he did nothing. He's fucked everything up.
Well,
I don't know what happened to that guy.
You know, he had his 5-10 minutes of fame, and I think that's all anybody... You know what anybody should get.
It's because of Hollywood. I think what happened with him is like he started looking different because he started like hitting his fucking 30s to 40s when that shit happened. Because he wasn't a young buck no more. And then maybe he started losing his fucking hair and getting fat, and then he didn't know what to do. Like he didn't know how to transition. Some actors, they know how to transition balding and fatting, and they do it. Others, they don't do it. Like they
call it reinventing. They reinvent themselves.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. But really what it is you just got to fucking just keep being yourself and keep acting. So like that motherfucker, remember that movie Stargate? There was this fucking nerdy fuck that was like one of the main guys in that movie. What the fuck was that guy's name? You remember that guy?
I know who you're talking about. I never knew the actor's name.
James Spader. Jamie just told me. Jamie just let me know. James Spader. Thanks, Jamie. We need you over here, Jamie. Thank you. James Spader, he was in that movie. He looked like he was 20 years old and he hadn't gotten laid yet. You know what I mean? He looked like a total herb. You know what I mean? And then his career started popping off because he kind of played in that weird young Herbie kind of guy that was kind of nervous, but also could kind of play like a leading guy who's like a little soft, where like women were like, I don't know, I like him. He's a little soft, but I kind of like him. And then he got older and he got bald and fat and swollen. Guess what? Now he's running around in a trench coat, bald as fuck, a little bit fucking fat, and he's just like a hard-ass fucking asshole who he's like upper management. That's his fucking thing now. He's just, I'm upper management. You got to fucking deal with me now, Mr. Trenchcoat guy. Don't worry about the trench coat. I won't flash you. That's his whole thing.
So what was the guy's name?
Who, James Spader?
He played the nerdy guy?
Yeah, in Stargate.
Okay, because in this, the movie had different cast than the series.
I'm not talking about the series. There was a movie.
But
fuck the series. What the fuck? I don't watch that shit.
I'm thinking of the nerdy guy from the series.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Michael Shanks.
I never even watched the series. You know what I'm saying?
I watched all the series.
Yeah, but did you see the movie?
I saw the movie ages ago.
There you go. The movie kicked everything off, right? The fucking series came from the movie.
Right.
And James Spader, he's a real actor. But now he does TV. Because he's like, I don't know if I'm really a fucking movie guy. Now I'm in TV shows. I could pull this kind of, he's got like this Michael Chiklis kind of vibe, you know? He's like, I'm a TV guy. I'm a bald, fat guy who could work for like the cops or some shit. Or like a shadow government agency type shit with desks and like dark fucking rooms with blinds and desk lamps. Like that's his whole vibe.
Huh.
Yeah, and he don't have sex no more. You know, like he used to be those guys always having sex in the movie. So like in Stargate, he was trying to have sex. He was in some fucking movie called like The Secretary. Like he was the boss trying to have sex. And he was in this other movie called, I think it was that movie called Crash, where he like crashed into some woman and they both got injured. And then they got really kinky into the scars of their accident injuries. And then they started to have sex. You know, everybody was like sweating in like dark sex, you know what I mean? And then that was his whole deal. But then he got bald, and then people are like, I don't know, I want to have sex with this old bald guy. So then he became this sexless, Michael Chiklis cop, CIA kind of shadow government guy, and he's working it. He's like, this is where this works. I don't care. He's like, so what if I ain't having sex?
Fuck it.
He's like, I got a trench coat. I can fucking bust out my fucking package at any point from this trench coat, be a flasher, and it's like sex to me, he's thinking.
So do you think you could act out a sex scene in front of a camera knowing it was going to be seen by millions of people?
Me? I don't know. No, absolutely not. Why the fuck would I do that? Why would I do that?
For money. For money.
For money. You mean it's called a porno? And you mean when I fucking star in a porno?
No, it's called a movie.
Sex for money.
It's called a movie.
Yeah, I know it's called a movie, but not every movie's gonna have sex in it. What kind of movies are you watching?
I'm just asking if you were in a movie, you were cast in a movie, and one of the scenes was a sex scene.
I don't know. You got a movie for me? You got money in a movie? We'll find out.
Well, that's the question.
Well, hook me up, bro.
Let me know. Say it was I don't know. James Cameron has got a script.
I don't like that guy.
They start casting.
I'm gonna turn it
whoever.
down. I'm gonna turn it down.
Pick a director. Pick a director.
I get to pick. I'm that fucking good at this. Holy shit.
Sure.
Let me think. What director would I want?
Who would you not turn down a script from?
Oh, turn down a script?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of directors for that. Oh, with a sex scene?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never thought of that.
Let's say you wanted to be an actor and you wanted to be in movies and you get a decent movie with a decent director, a decent script, a good storyline, but it's got a sex scene. You're going to tell me you're not going to do it?
I don't know. It depends how much they're paying me and if I like the fucking script.
What if I don't like it? Rates. Union rates.
Union rates. What? So what's union rates?
I don't know. City Center.
Yeah, what's union rates? I don't know. I'm thinking union rates. I'm not doing it. Fuck it. I got to really love the movie to do union rates.
Let's say double the union rates.
So double union rates. Let's say union rates.
Double union rates, good director, good cast, making good script, what? Good story.
I'm making what? $1,000 a day? Union rate, double union rates. And I fucking good script, and I got to do a sex scene.
Let's say it's your breakout movie, like
it's a breakout. Okay.
You've been acting in all sorts of bullshit, but somebody picked you up and said, "Oh, I think you'd be good in this movie." So it's your first movie.
Yeah.
You're not making. I mean, once you're making millions as an actor, you get to be really picky. But this is your first movie.
Yeah.
Good director, good script, good cast, good set, interesting story, but it's got a sex scene in it. You gonna turn it down?
Well, it depends. Depends what the sex scene is. Because like sometimes you don't have to be naked. I like
all on full frontal.
Oh, full frontal. No, I'm not. That's a porno. I ain't doing that. Full frontal. What the fuck? You can see my dick and balls? Are you nuts? Like what movie have you been watching where there's a fucking full frontal dick and balls?
I just watched.
And it's not a porno.
What was that HBO series? True Blood.
That's not a movie. True Blood is for fuck. What the fuck?
Of course it's not a movie.
We just went from movies to True Blood, which is like some kind of fucking soap opera. Nighttime vampire soap opera for fucking wine drinking ladies. What the fuck? Absolutely not. I ain't doing that. Wow. True Blood. Wow. Okay, so you're trying to get me to sign on to some True Blood type shit? Fuck that.
No, it was just an example to say there's...
Okay, so what did you see on True Blood?
So forget that example. There's other movies
I'd like to see it. Like, I want to know what you saw. What'd you see? Some kind of full frontal awesome
True Blood. I mean, it's HBO, so it's like
an HBO.
There's like
nighttime
5
soap
sex
opera.
scenes in every
Yeah, it's
episode.
a nighttime soap opera about vampires. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
True Blood. The fuck is that? It's like Anne Rice on TV.
But there's like so many sex scenes in every episode.
That's amazing. So that's not a movie. That's called Skinamax. We used to have Skinamax. Now it's True Blood.
I'm sure there's plenty of other movies.
So give me an example.
I don't know any.
I mean, I said give me an example, and you were like, I was watching True Blood. I saw a cock in my face. That was fucking cool.
Guy laying on the table.
And you fucking liked it. You were like, I wish that was this guy.
No.
I wish he would sign up for that. I don't know. I'm just asking, like, why the fuck?
Putting words in my mouth.
Give me a better example. Because, look, if I'm going to sit there and agree to it, it's like, it don't have to be nudity.
Well, okay. Forget all movies.
They don't have to zero in on my fucking unit. You know what I'm saying?
Tastefully done.
Tastefully
done.
Tastefully do my unit.
You know, it's a romantic
HBO
scene.
soap opera.
It's just a romantic. No, it's just a fucking movie with a good script, good cast.
Yeah,
good
like
set,
you know which
everything
one?
like that.
I'll give
it just happens to be a really intimate scene, and
I'll give you a good
out.
example. You ready? This is a really good example. Brokeback Mountain. That's a good one.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Well, so I did.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't watch True Blood. And I don't fucking seeing guys' dicks on the table. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
So
Brokeback Mountain.
Is it a good story?
I think it fucking won Oscars, that fucking movie, bro.
Okay. Is it a good cast?
Of course it's a great cast.
Is it a good
One
director?
Guy's dead already.
Well, so
I don't remember who directed it. Who directed that movie? Hey,
so
Jamie.
You came up with a good example. So would you have done Brokeback?
Absolutely. I would have done Brokeback Mountain.
Okay. So then your answer is yes. You would be willing to do a sex
but I gave you an example, and you haven't seen it. And guess what? There ain't no fucking cocks in that fucking movie or nudity in any sex scenes.
Then it was a bad example.
No, it's a perfect example because that's what I would have done. And you gotta when we get out of the car, you gotta go watch fucking Brokeback Mountain so you can see what the fuck I'm talking about.
I totally am gonna have to, but
did you, Jamie? Did you say Ang Lee? Well, no way. Ang Lee did Brokeback Mountain. Holy shit. I thought that guy only did horror movies.
Wow.
Ang Lee. You know about Ang Lee? He fucking does horror movies. People fucking, he's from Taiwan, this motherfucker. And he does shit that people are like raving about. Not that they're all good. You know, people just like raving about his shit. Maybe because he did Brokeback Mountain. But that was a really good movie. You should watch it. It's like...
I should.
It's like when you watch that movie, since you haven't seen Brokeback Mountain, just imagine that the two main characters in that movie are me and you. And then you'll really get into it. You know what I mean? Because there's two guys in the movie. Do you know who Heath Ledger is?
I know who Heath Ledger is.
He's dead, okay?
He's dead.
He played the Joker in one of them Batman movies, but right before he dropped dead. And then the other guy is Jake Gyllenhaal. You know who the fuck that guy is?
I know who he is.
Those are the two main dudes in that movie. And if you watch that movie and you're like, that's me and you, then you'll really appreciate this movie. And you'll understand deeper like why I would do those sex scenes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think there's really only one sex scene. And they're not naked. You don't have to be naked. You know what I mean?
No.
They didn't even play a saxophone in the background or nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, sex scenes could be, implied. And more, I hate this word. I don't even know if this word was real 10 years ago. More impactful. You know what I mean? That's like a resume word. Yeah. Now people use impactful like it's a fucking word.
That's corporate speak. Right there.
Impactful is not a fucking word. Well, that's why I hate using that. What would you word? Yeah. What word would you use instead of impactful? Fucking hate that word.
Boy.
Right? I'm
not a thesaurus.
It's like they rot away your brain with these words, and then you can't think of other ones, and then all of a sudden you're Mr. Corporate fucking ladder guy. Yeah. But anyway, that was my point, though.
There's a million other words you could use than that, probably.
A million, right? But not on a resume.
Words,
on a fucking resume. See if you could try to not use that word 10 times. Synergistic. I like to synergize my impactfulness in the office space environment.
That's right.
I'm very productive.
Productive.
Hey, let me ask you something, because it's fucking wintertime, you know what I mean? And if you look around, you see these people walking in the streets and shit, walking wherever the fuck people walk on walkways, them walkway people. You notice that like in the last 3 to 4 years, I don't know if this is what it's like over there where you fucking live, but especially in urban areas, motherfuckers be buying these jackets like it's a fucking, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a uniform, you know? It's like a fucking jacket, freezing time uniform ever since like 3-4 years ago. It really started to really come like huge uptick in these fucking jackets. You have any idea what I might be talking about? Have you seen anything like that? A trend in the last 4 years?
Describe the jacket.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the jacket is called Canada Goose, is the brand. And the reason why you notice these fucking things is because the fucking thing about Canada Goose, I would sit there, let's say at home in my living room, right? And I'd look out the fucking window, and motherfuckers be walking by because it's wintertime. They all got winter jackets on. They all got the same one. Like, they all got, like someone, like, gave them all these uniforms or something. But no, they went out and they bought these fucking things. And the reason why they look like uniforms is because all of them have this patch on, like, the left shoulder. It's like a circular patch that looks like some kind of fucking...
Really?
Like they're all in a club in some kind of fucking cult or some shit. And
I bet they're all lizard people.
That's what I'm saying. And so Canada Goose is like... You wear a Canada Goose jacket, it means you're part of that club, part of that cult, on that team, whatever the fuck it is. And they all quietly don't want to say that they all spent upwards of $1,000 on this fucking jacket that all of a sudden everybody goes, I got to have one of those.
Ain't nobody here wearing $1,000 jackets.
So none of you motherfuckers over there got no Canada Goose. It's like Canada Goose is some kind of rich people shit, right?
I don't know where you'd even go to buy that.
That's what I'm saying. If you fucking ask Jamie Walmart to look that shit up on the fucking internet, Canada Goose jackets, man, they have been the biggest fucking thing in like trendy asshole fucking clothes. If you want to fucking just be part of the club, like you don't care that it costs what it costs. Because sometimes these motherfuckers, they want to get in on the ground floor. They're like, I can't really afford it. What do they have that's cheap that I can be part of the fucking club and still have that fucking insignia so I could be one of you guys, you know? And these people wear like little vests and shit.
So what are the jackets like? Are they puffy and
I don't know. They're just regular winter jackets. It's just that they have that fucking Mussolini fucking thing on the fucking shoulder over there where like, oh yeah, you guys are one of us, right on, but brother.
Are they like a ski jacket or like a formal, like an overcoat type of thing?
They're literally like what everybody wears to work in New York City in the winter. Oh. So they couldn't possibly be like a ski jacket because then you look kind of stupid. So they're like, you know how like people are always like, they're making things like, yeah, it's a ski jacket if I wanted it to be, but it can also double as my commuter jacket. So like they're like, yeah, I could wear this. Because back in the day, we used to wear crazier jackets just to stay alive. These motherfuckers are trying to be styling in like some weird, I don't know, socialist experiment or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
we don't have any of that shit going on here.
That's amazing. So you guys don't have the Canada Goose cult up there because nobody can afford jackets like that.
Whatever jacket you buy up here is guaranteed you're going to see 5 other people on the street wearing the same one.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what these are.
Yeah, but everybody knows which aisle and which rack of Walmart it came from because that's all we have.
Right, but what I'm saying is it ain't...
Oh, you were in aisle 5 on that rack with all the red jackets.
So they don't sell Canada Goose up there.
No, I'm sure I haven't seen a Canada Goose jacket up here.
That's fucking crazy. Because, you know, that shit's been flying off the shelves for like 5 years.
I'd probably have to drive an hour to, in one of the larger cities to see
where the cult is. Yeah, where the cult members live. Right.
Maybe it might mean we got like a false sense of security here. Maybe eventually the cult's going to move in. And
I mean, look, if you're saying nobody can afford that shit, nobody would even pay $1,000 for a fucking
Nobody
jacket.
here would pay that.
So it's just like people just have different priorities. They just want to stay alive, you know. And people ain't going to pay $8 for eggs. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to pay $1,000 for a jacket.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've got a few wealthy people here. And
so they got they got fucking Canada Goose in the closet.
You probably wouldn't even see them walking on the street. It's above them. It's below them. It's beneath them to walk on.
So they're possibly driving and you don't see them because they're
probably driving around.
Cults.
And they didn't buy their stuff here. They probably either ordered it. They didn't buy the jackets in.
Oh, because Walmart doesn't sell them.
The Walmart's that's pretty much it.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is like, where the fuck do the rich people fucking buy their shit that they're not buying it at Walmart? They got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
I think rich people
probably bought it online.
But rich people would love to drive an hour just to shop and get fucking Gucci.
Or drive an hour to shop. Yep. Yeah. Or they probably drive down where you are to get it. You know, I mean.
Right. Yeah. They would fucking drive down to Broadway.
And you know, it would be kind of pointless because if they're doing it to look fashionable and be, you know, whatever, nobody here would even recognize it as a coat that's like, oh, that's $1,000 coat. Well, it depends. Nobody would even know what they were looking at. It would be like taking a 5-year-old to an art museum and saying, look how beautiful that painting is. They have no clue what a $1,000 coat even looks like.
But that's what I mean. That's how a cult works. It's like the other cult members look at it and they go, I see you, brother.
Yeah.
And then the other dumb people are like, I don't get it. And they're like, yeah, that's okay. You ain't gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't afford it.
You weren't meant to get it.
Nah, you ain't getting it, bro. You ain't never gonna get it. Yeah. This is $1,000. What do people
get out of being like that? Do you think that's something that's? I mean, what is this need to be in packs and feel better than other people?
High school. It's called high school. Remember that?
That's but they're all adults now.
Don't matter. You ever notice that most adults are acting like they're in fucking high school right now?
The last thing on my mind every day is how much I spent on my clothes and how much my clothes look like they're worth all this money.
Yeah, but that's you. You don't give a fuck. Like if you,
that's me.
The thing is, like, you're not hanging around people, obviously, where people are looking at your clothes. That's another thing. You know, you just made a really salient point right there because there's motherfuckers.
Salient.
Right. It almost sounds like
this motherfucker's whipping out the words
fucking
now.
Salient, right? It's almost like saline, right? You made a very salient point, you know, because there's motherfuckers out there, and I got friends who kind of are on the fence with this shit, and I'm cool with them, so they're okay, you know. But then there's other motherfuckers that I met that are not my friends, and they ain't never was gonna be my friends because I realized they didn't want me really in the cult unless I fucking went all the way to join, like getting one of these jackets. There's motherfuckers. Fuck these jackets. Before these jackets came out, nobody knew that they could easily be in the jacket cult of fucking Mussolini, Canada Goose, fucking freezing wintertime, Heil Hitler, whatever the fuck that patch is on the side, right? So what I'm saying is before these jackets, you know what motherfuckers used to do? To get in the real cult, the fucking world cult? Everyone knew right past high school and maybe right after college because you had to get a good job. Motherfuckers started to realize, yo, you want to get that good job, you know, you're going to have to wear the right shit.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers, they be wearing the right shit and they look at you and they know right away, you in the club or you not? You a fucking busboy? Or you going to be able to work in this fucking office over here, whatever the fuck that is, depending upon what it's going to be. Let's say if it was a law firm or some shit, that's a perfect example. You're going to go work in a law office right out of fucking college. You know what you're going to need? Besides like a decent fucking at least entry-level fucking suit that everyone's like, okay, you're not a pleb, but we could still work with you, you know, get you better. You are going to need a watch and some shoes.
The watch, the Rolex.
Dude, if you don't have the watch and the shoes that works, because there's motherfuckers, they dress down, and let's say they go and they hang out at night after work. These motherfuckers will wear like their fucking, I don't know what you would call these fucking things, like fucking beachy time fucking shorts, right? Almost like Bermuda shorts, right? Like if you imagine if you want to dress down from the law office, you know what you could wear that's perfectly acceptable is Bermuda shorts with a polo, with a fucking brown braided belt, right? Mm-hmm. But you gotta fucking tie it together with the watch and the shoes. And if you don't, you ain't doing it right. You're like, hey, that motherfucker, he's off. He's trying, but nice try. But, you know, A for effort. You don't fucking fit in, you know? So, like, if you get the watch and the shoes in any scenario, you're in. And if you fucking put all your eggs in those two baskets, because the shoes got to be over $400. You can't be going under $400 and thinking you're in the club. You ain't in the club. So you gotta do the research. You need to call Jamie. You're like, yo, Jamie, let's look up $400 plus shoes. What are the fucking makes and models? Well, it's not really about that. It's like what is acceptable in law firms. Even if you don't want to like floss, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to wear name brands for the plebs because even the plebs are like, yeah, I know that name brand. Fuck that. The real motherfuckers that pay $1,000 for shoes, they ain't buying the fucking things that you know about. They're buying shit that you don't even know about. And then they're buying watches. Everyone knows what a Rolex is, right? But they're buying watches you ain't never fucking heard of that cost $27,000, you know? So if you're buying shoes, $1,000 and up, your watch is $18,000, you're like mid-level management, and maybe you got like a decent suit. Let's say you got a $1,000 suit for every day of the week at work. So you're like, you're just barely getting by, but you're in the club, bro. You know what I mean?
I guess.
So
I guess the club must be really good.
But here's my point, though. Like, let's say we're not in the fucking lawyer's office. Let's say I'm a fucking ragtag asshole, and I'm trying to act like I'm making my own way. And I want to hobnob with these motherfuckers, right? Because I want to be cool. I want to be in because I like money. I like the idea of money. My whole life revolves around money. And how many fucking digits I can accumulate on a piece of paper with my fucking name on it. That's my whole shit. Like, if you get down to, like, who God is for me, it's fucking money, right? But I ain't a lawyer. But I'm like, I'm making my own way. I like to look at myself as a artiste. You know, I'm a artiste making artisan shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to hobnob and rub elbows with these motherfuckers with watches and shoes that cost more than my yearly fucking salary. You know what I'm saying? That I make myself because I'm a fucking trailblazer. So those are the motherfuckers I'm talking about. You know what they do? They start talking about watches and shoes, but they're just like a regular fucking schmuck who grew up in fucking armpit in New Jersey or some shit. And now he's like, you know what? You know, I got to watch your shoes. Maybe you should do that. You know, you fit in. You'd be amazed how many doors of opportunity that will open up because another motherfucker will look and go, I like your watch. I like your shoes. I'd like to have you on board. That's how these motherfuckers work. You know what I'm saying? You seen that with people?
It sounds like a lonely and pointless existence.
But what I'm saying, this is normal, and this is everywhere, and there's people everywhere.
I know it's normal. So I know there's too much of it.
Sounds like
it sounds lonely and pointless.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this is reality. How many people like that you know?
I don't know anybody like that.
Have you ever met anybody like that?
I've met people like that.
Yeah, and aren't they like, what's the word you would ascribe to those people?
Oh, there's so many words.
But like, what's the number one word that everyone will be like, yep, that's right. That's what that is. There's an easy one.
Well,
he's a douche. That guy's a douche. You know what that is?
Yeah,
such a douche.
Arrogance.
No, arrogance. What the fuck is that? He's a douche. You point out a douche. You're like, that's a douche. You know what it is? Because he's got a douche watch. He's got douche shoes. He's got a douche haircut. You know what else he's got? He's got a douche car. Guaranteed. That's a full-on douche, that guy.
Yeah.
That's what those are. Those are douches. You could think of a better word. You don't sound satisfied with douche.
Well, douche, I mean, it wraps it up. It's you can call anybody a douche.
I mean, I could be arrogant, but not a douche. That don't really work.
You could be a douche. You could be a douche and not be a rich asshole. But you're saying the guy's not really rich. He's just kind of gotten this stuff, even though he doesn't have the money to do it.
Well, what I'm saying is, what's a douche?
He's trying to be in the club.
No. You see, the guys that have the money, who live in the Hamptons and shit with a marina, those guys are full-on douches. But this guy, he's a douche too, because he wants to be there, because he likes the idea that they got the marina, and he wants to be their buddy that gets to go in. So maybe he's like a douche, and he's almost like a douche in training. Like he hasn't. Yeah, but he's still a douche. Like if that guy hangs out with me, I'm like, nah, sorry, bro. Like you're a douche. You ain't hang out with me. Go hang out with the other douches that are douchier than you, that you fucking like so much. You guys could douche together. Group douching.
Maybe it's my nihilistic phase, but
you like nihilism? You're a nihilist?
It just
why is it a phase? So why you got a phase? How do you even know it's a phase? You just all of a sudden phased into nihilism?
You know, I was thinking about this the other day. If we continually thought of our lives as going through phases, instead of just looking at kids and saying, oh, you know, they're in their 3-year-old phase, or they're in their mind phase, or
all these phases,
whatever,
right?
But you know, well, I mean,
so you got a phase. I don't have a phase. I don't phase. I don't have phases at all.
Oh, bullshit.
I mean, maybe according to you, I do. You start phasing me out. You know, phasing me. I don't have one fucking phase that I ever thought of.
If you don't have phases,
never thought of the word phase.
You're the same. You telling me that you're the same person that you were in Buffalo in the 90s?
That's not a phase. You're always a different person.
Are you telling me that you were the same person?
Dude, I'm a different person than I was yesterday. So yesterday I was in a phase, and today I'm a new phase, and tomorrow I'm a third phase. Come on, bro.
I know.
These are not. Yeah. That's not how I work. I don't work in phases. Yeah. You know, people other than phase. You know what other motherfuckers like to say? This chapter of my life.
The chapter of your life.
I'm in another chapter. And I'm always like, which chapter is it? 37? How many more chapters you got to go? Is this the final chapter, bro? What the fuck? Chapters, fate? I don't think of that like they fat. You know, we got enough of a fucking thing that delineates who you are. It's called a calendar. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Why the fuck you're going to sit there and define yourself in phases? So I find it really interesting that you said that you got a nihilistic phase. So you must know when it started and how long you've been in this phase. And you're a nihilistic phase right now, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm just looking for somebody to yank me out of it.
How did that start?
Go on to the next phase.
How did you get into
How did it start?
Did you start reading Nietzsche?
No, I started.
That's the nihilism guy. Darwin, Nietzsche, those are all the nihilists.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know what happens? The problem with nihilism, and you know, this is how you're going to get out of the phase of nihilism. Nihilism inevitably always leads to fascism because all you got to do is read history. That's where it goes. So if you want to end your nihilism phase, you're going to have to realize, oh shit, now I'm in a fascistic phase. And now I'm going to have to get out of this, or I'll stay in a nihilistic, fascistic phase, and then I'll fucking either everything will come to an end in the last chapter of my life, or we're going to move on to a new chapter, new phase, and then what's that, right?
Well, as we learn new things, we kind of have certain beliefs, and then those beliefs evolve as we learn new things.
Well, absolutely, but that's really interesting because I would say if I was nihilistic, I kind of learned that from the writer Albert Camus. You know, he's kind of an existentialist, nihilist kind of guy. And if you ever read the book The Stranger, you know, that's all about fucking being an existential French nihilist. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I learned that in fucking high school, bro. So like I went through my nihilistic phase in high school because I was learning that, like you said.
Okay.
And I was like, what a fucking teenager. You know, I was like fucking 16 years old. I was like, okay, that's interesting.
I didn't do a lot of that. I didn't do a lot of that kind of introspection when I was a teen. But
it was just reading a book, bro. You know, what's introspection?
Well, I didn't read those kind of books.
Right. What the fuck did you read?
Oh, I was reading music.
No, but even in high school. You had this English class in high school. They didn't make you read books? They made me read this book, Albert Camus, The Stranger. Wonderful book. I had
the coolest English teacher ever. We watched and analyzed Pink Floyd's The Wall. So that's
all you did in high school. That was it. Come on.
Yeah, well, I don't remember.
Did you ever read the book Animal Farm? I read that freshman year of high school.
Animal Farm. Yeah, I remember Animal Farm. I remember Lord of the Flies.
I never read that one.
Yeah, so that was a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole point is like it seems like the richer people are, and the more they flaunt it, and the more they just they strive towards those numbers that you're talking about.
Oh yeah, the dollars. The God, my God is a dollar sign.
Yeah, the more pointless it all seems.
You know that reminds me.
They are more pointless than everyday Joe.
Well, no, but listen, that's what science is. We live in a realm where science has evolved, and science kind of teaches you to be kind of how's the right way to say this? Kind of morally fascistic through nihilism, because, if you pay attention to science in school, everything that we're in right now, scientifically speaking, according to like the club of science that has to be authorized by the priesthood of being approved and validated and peer reviewed, right? That shit teaches you from a very young age, and I could say this because I went to Catholic school, that there is no God. There's no fucking purpose. All this shit happened by accident, and there's no meaning to anything. So that's nihilistic already. Yeah. But because I had Catholic school, I was already having that conflict in my mind. I was like, well, what about God and Jesus? You're teaching me this shit. So like, God created the earth, but science says, there was this thing called the Big Bang. We fucking came up with that. And by the way, and I didn't learn this when I was a kid, but in the 60s and 70s, this fucking weird, fake-ass fucking theory of dark matter, dark energy that they made up out of thin air because they didn't like what they were looking at in the telescope. That shit is still around today. I didn't learn that until later. All that shit is theoretical bullshit, It's like, that's not proven, but like it works for science. But anyway, that science can lead to what you're saying, nihilism. Mm. So you're stuck in scientific nihilism, like when I was a kid, and I fucking maybe I moved on, and you didn't yet.
Well, see, the idea is to explore all these things and not just land on one thing and say, well, that's
it's a phase. Yeah, it's your chapter.
Yeah, right? I mean, would you be disappointed if I stayed a nihilist?
I mean, I'd be like, well, hey, whatever, bro. That was me when I was a kid.
Well, I guess you wouldn't care. You know?
I mean, I don't know. I'd help you out.
Maybe it's time for Jesus to take the wheel.
I think it's time for Jesus to take the wheel. We're going to have to watch the road, make sure we don't run nobody over.